Welcome back. My name is Billy with Coach Dooley's List, and as I forget to tell people most of the time, if you do enjoy the coach interviews, please hit like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then follow us on all our other social media platforms. We'll take these out. I'll take some outtakes. We'll put some good bits of information from the coaches, and we'll put them on the other places. So today I'm in Lyons, Georgia. It's a beautiful day. We're here at Toombs County High School with my buddy, Coach Derek James.
Hey, appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate you having us, Coach. So just start off telling everybody, we've known each other since Bruton Parker, and if you ever go to Georgia games, you can find us usually in sections 318 and 319, so come say hello, come this fall. But tell us, everybody, a little bit about your coaching journey and how you ended up here at Toombs.
Well, for me, right off the bat, I started early. Both parents taught, dad coached. Got to see a lot of behind the scenes, them late 80s, early 90s, where really high school baseball started to take off. Got to see that behind the scene. And like you said, Bruton Parker. Go back to Coach Mike Robbins, old Coach Chad Parker. Both were very good to me. And during all that, while that's going on, to be honest with you, got to be around a lot of good people at Vitae Rate Department. Like I said, just very fortunate to be around a lot of good people. Graduate from Bruton Parker. First 5 years at Vidalia, and then I caught a break. Coach Scott Brown down there at Bacon County, they trusted me, offered me the head baseball job. Very fortunate to go down there, and I got to learn a lot. I just got to learn a lot being around a lot of good people, and got my chance to be a head baseball coach. And the biggest thing was getting that opportunity somewhere you're not from. So like I tell our younger coaches, we don't care what you know. Bottom line is you got to prove it. And every day is an opportunity to prove what you know and how hard you're willing to work. Like I said, that at Bacon County for 9 years, enjoyed that. Opportunity came up here at Toombs, came up and talked to them. And like I said, just came up. When it was all said and done, I felt like the move was right, and I'm glad I did it because it's worked out for everybody. And like I said, I've had a great time here at Toombs. Like I said, great facilities, and we were talking about earlier, school's been on a roll in a lot of areas. Throughout the year, softball played for a state championship, soccer won a state championship, football won it last year, and it's carried over to baseball. Like I said, we got a lot of the same kids. We got kids playing 2 or 3 sports throughout the year, and like I said, it's been good being here.
Good. Well, it is beautiful. I'm going to put a picture as the thumbnail so y'all can see this place, but it is a gorgeous facility with an awesome, nicely, freshly painted water tower back in the background, too.
Absolutely.
So, in all your couple stops, Vidalia, Bacon, now here in Toombs, I know you kind of formulate what you want your programs to be known for. So if somebody leaves Toombs County baseball field, what do you want them to know about your program?
Well, the bottom line is we tell our guys all the time, regardless what the scoreboard says, when somebody walks through the gate, we want to look the same. Whether we're up by 10 or down by 10, we're playing for every second, every out. And the bottom line is be consistent, especially with baseball. And like I said, time with softball. Highs can't be too high and lows can't be too low.
That's true.
You got to be consistent. And I'm hoping that's when people get done playing us, and because I've heard in the past when people have called about us, the bottom line is they just show up and they play baseball, and to be honest with you, that's what I want.
Oh, yeah. And too, with all the distractions there are in this world today. So,
yeah, absolutely. One of our big things here is, do it. It's one thing to know it. It's another thing to do it. And basically consolidating what we know and what we actually do on a day-in basis, that's one of our biggest goals here. So we tell our players, like everybody, kid walks through the gate, we want to max them out. Whatever they're I was telling them this morning when we were hitting, I don't give you a 5-star. If you're a 5-star, I'm going to be a 5-star. You're a 3-star, max out to be that 3. Whatever you are, max out your opportunities, and then whatever your job calls for what we're doing, just max it out. And that's really our selling points here.
I love it. Now, in all your years and your different couple stops here, what's one story that sticks out? Maybe it could be a happy one, could be a make you laugh. What's one of your favorite stories?
We're talking about, we tell the guys it's not about what you know, it's what you actually do. Don't assume. Don't assume that it's a simple game, and I don't care how many times you say something, don't assume somebody knows something. I go back, and really my first head job overall would be to J.R. Tripp Middle School. We had a bunt cycle going on, kid bunts. It's middle school. We're going to slow it down. You got kids at every base, you bunt. Kid at first reads it, kids at second read it, kid at third reads it. We're just moving around. Sacrifice bunt, very simple. And I kept saying, hey, read the ball on that downward angle before we go. Well, kid struggled with it at first. I said something to him, struggled with it a second. He struggled with it a third. And I finally called him up and I said, man, look, come here. What don't you? And I said, hey, man, that ball, you got to read that ball down. He said, Coach, I can't see the right on the ball. And I'm trying to, I said, that's not what I'm talking about. I said, don't worry about it. That's my fault. That's a poor job of coaching on my part. And once again, it goes back for a lot of it. You just can't assume. I mean, it goes, everybody now has got the numbers with the cards. We've had a hit kid here. You know, HR hit and run. He threw a home run. I don't know. You just can't assume. Even as simple as the game is, you cannot assume, because I'm telling you, things are so different now. And the bottom line is, and when the kid doesn't do it right, like I told that kid, that's my fault. That was a poor job of me explaining it. And that's something I've carried with me. It's my 21st year overall teaching and coaching. That was one thing. That has carried with me all throughout, you know, middle school baseball all the way now to varsity baseball.
Well, and we always talk about just, you know, hitting philosophy. Everybody's got their own hitting coach. They come out here and you're talking about, you know, you're saying the same thing but using different terminology. I've never even thought about the fact I'm trying to read the ball.
Yeah, he literally was trying to read it right on the ball. I said, that's my fault. That's not your fault. That was a poor job on my part explaining what needs to be done.
I'll always ask, and you know, a buddy of mine used to say it's okay to communicate. That's for sure. So, you know, in a couple different stops, you know, and being a couple different places, you know, you've learned a lot about, you know, obviously being a head coach. So if somebody came to you today and said, Coach James, I think I want to be a head coach, what advice would you give them?
Oh, I mean, to be honest with you, right off the bat, you got to be yourself. And like I said, we play people all the time, and you know, in coaching, you steal stuff from somebody. We've played ball games, and the game was over because we stole this from y'all. Well, don't worry about it. We stole this from y'all. So part of that, but the biggest thing is you got to be yourself. You got to figure out what what you're good at, what you need to improve on, because obviously you need to improve all the time. And you know, especially baseball, just because the Jones is next door doing it doesn't mean your team needs to do it.
True.
You need to figure out what you need to do. Bottom line, like I said, for me, it comes down to really being yourself, communicating with those you work for, make sure everybody's on the same page. It goes back to, if you got a question, you better ask.
True.
And, you know, when you do get there, like I said, do everything you can to surround yourself with good people. I'll be honest with you, I've been very fortunate in 2 stops as head coach. I'll be honest, I've been surrounded by some outstanding people. And it goes back this year. We were able to win the region this year. We won the region because I'll be honest with you, I got 3 dudes that help me coach.
Right.
I mean, those guys do a great job. Players do a great job working. But like I said, be yourself, communicate with those that you're working for, know what the expectations are, know what the overall goal is. It's not this year, but you know, where does everybody want to be in 3 years, 4 years?
Right.
And that's really my biggest. You know, as you move off, especially if you move somewhere new, you better communicate. You better surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, and it's not always easy, and I think you said
I'm telling you, it is a challenge.
Communicating with people and saying, okay, even though you're not where we want you right now, the more talks you have, the definitely the better it is. So I love it. So, and again, we talked before. You were kind of raving about a couple of the vendors that you work with. The whole idea behind Coach Dooley's list is trying to connect coaches with vendors that they trust. Somebody that they would shout out to somebody else, because in all the time that's the biggest thing. I always had coaches call me and said, "Who do you use for uniforms? Where do you get your dirt from?" That kind of stuff. So tell us about those 2 companies you were talking about earlier.
No, like I said, you can't play the game without the equipment. And right off the bat, I look at my time at 2 jobs. 2 guys I've used the most, like I said, Ty and him at R&S down in Albany. They do a great job. And then Nate here in Soperton with One-on-One Sports. I mean, all throughout the years, both of those guys, I need something. I was able to call them. They were able to, both of them this year got baseballs to me in a short amount of time. Ty helped me out with the backstop pad in a short amount of time. Everything from uniforms. Both of those guys do a great job. Like I said, it's just been a good deal working with them.
I love it. And both of those are on the website. You know, the website is new now. It's finally where we want it to be. And so y'all definitely please check that out at www.coachdooleysList.com. And I'm going to go ahead and shout out. We don't always do the food stuff, but Coach told me we were going to go to eat at Hardware Pizza after this. And usually when I go out of town, I try to find new places. But me and the boys came last time and absolutely loved it. So shout out to Hardware Pizza. We're coming. So, Coach, I do appreciate you taking the time during the summer, man.
Appreciate it, brother.